Welcome to another Soapbox Smorgasbord special presented by Squirrel Radio. Grab your favorite tasty snack, sit back and enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome in for our Money in the Bank 2024 prediction show. I am here solo today, but that's okay. Toronto, Canada, on Saturday, July 6th. That is tomorrow night. That is the host city for Money in the Bank. It is going to be, the guest host is going to be Trish Stratus. Hopefully she does a better job than Sexy Red did on NXT couple weeks back. That was kind of a disaster. We got a pretty good card. Triple H just kind of switched over to this kind of 5-match max type thing for the smaller pay-per-views. I wouldn't really call Money in the Bank a small pay-per-view anymore. It started out originally as a match at WrestleMania, and now it's kind of evolved into its own pay-per-view. I'd put it up there, not quite SummerSlam, WrestleMania, but maybe Survivor Series and Royal Rumble level. A lot of implications with stipulations to matches that happen at Money in the Bank. I want to first start talking about the men's Money in the Bank match. You have Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. I feel like Drew McIntyre, I don't think he's going to win it. I think he's on a collision course with CM Punk, and I think he's got to get through CM Punk first before we see him back in the title picture. Unless his title picture is with CM Punk. LA Knight, I kind of feel like he slipped back down the ladder from where he was a few months ago when he was feuding with Roman Reigns. He is a dark horse. Chad Gable's kind of got a loose storyline going on with the Wyatt Six. I feel like he could be a possible dark horse. Andrade he's kind of just been there since he's returned, so it'd be nice to kind of give him a breakout. And I've always thought that he's good enough that he could handle the spotlight. Same with Carmelo Hayes. He's relatively new to the main roster. Jey Uso is another guy that I really feel like could benefit from winning this. I think this sets up him and Cody Rhodes teasing for a future matchup and future feud. So I think any of the six. My pick, honestly, is going to be Chad Gable. I think the teasing of him, leaving his group that he's been in, Alpha Academy. I think him teaming up with new teammates is really going to help him. So yeah, I'm not against Chad Gable. I also have heard rumors of there being a scratch and someone not being able to compete, and Finn Balor getting that spot. And then Finn Balor cashing in on Damian Priest. There's been rumors of dissension between him and Damian Priest for a while, especially now that we're throwing Liv Morgan in there. Liv Morgan and Finn Balor were both kind of feuding with Original Judgment Day. So, it's not out of possibility. I mean, it is wrestling. Anything is possible. So yeah, my pick is Chad Gable, with Jey Uso or Drew McIntyre close second. It's kind of weird that they only have 6 wrestlers. Normally it feels like they have 8 or more. But yeah, that's my pick for the men's. For the women's match, I've kind of been halfway paying attention to it. The wrestlers are Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, I think I pronounced that right, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. Io Sky was just in the championship picture. I don't necessarily know that she really needs it. Chelsea Green has been kind of a comedy act since she has arrived. And I think it's just kind of time to do something a little more serious with her. I'd like to see her win. I feel like Lyra is a little bit newer. It definitely benefit her, but I also kind of feel like they could hold off with her for a while. Tiffany Stratton is super hot and over with the fans right now. Only problem is she kind of screwed up her own momentum with little, I guess, scandal, as you could call it, a few weeks ago or a few months ago. So I mean, she's definitely someone that could win it. Naomi, I feel like she's kind of tied in still with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. She'd benefit from it, obviously. I mean, anybody would benefit from it. Zoe Stark, I still feel like she's too new to the main event, but you know that could also benefit her. I've got to say either Chelsea or Tiffany are my picks to win, with Lyra being the dark horse. And I think whoever wins the women's tries cashing in real soon. I don't think that it's going to be a long wait like we saw with Priest. But yeah, so we'll kind of see how that goes. So those are the two Money in the Bank matches. I feel like I'm missing a match. We have the Bloodline 2.0 versus Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. And I kind of feel like this isn't going to be a clean match. If the Bloodline wins, it is because of the numerous rumored wrestlers that are supposedly coming. Zilla Fatu. I can't think of. There's a couple more Tongas that are rumored. I mean, there's several wrestlers that are rumored to be joining the Bloodline, and then if Cody, Kevin, or Randy win, it has to do with a lot of rumors of Jimmy Uso coming back and attacking them. Possibly even Reigns. I think it's a little too early to bring Reigns back, but it is a possibility. I don't think, like I said, this is going to be a clean match. They have not announced what three members of the Bloodline are going to be facing Kevin, Cody, and Randy. So, you know, we'll kind of wait and see. But as I said again, I do not think that this is going to be a clean match. The next match on here is the Intercontinental Championship match, and this is Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Braun has been on a rampage since he made it up to the main roster, and I'd love to see him win it. I kind of feel it's a little too early to put a title on him, or a little too early to take it off of Sami, but I understand why they would. I don't think Sami can beat him clean. A rumor that I've seen is Ricochet, who Braun Breaker just destroyed a few weeks back, is not actually gone from WWE. And that he will come back and attack Braun Breaker. Because Braun, for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, he attacked Ricochet, and like I said, it's rumored that Ricochet is gone from WWE. But if he comes back, it'd be a nice surprise. I am a big Ricochet fan, but my gut is telling me Braun Breaker, but my heart is saying Sammy somehow. I still think this is going to be a clean match, and yeah, I think we're going to see a good match out of this. And then the final match on the card is Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. I don't think Seth is 100% right now, but I kind of think that they don't really have a choice of who to put in there, especially with everyone else that could be in there tied up in other storylines. I think Priest is kind of walking on thin ice since he's gotten the title. Not that he doesn't deserve the spot, but his character is playing as if he's barely got a grip on it. At least in my opinion. I almost think it's too quick to put it back on Seth, though. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Money in the Bank cash in on this match. But if we don't, I look for Priest to retain. I think he's had it too short of amount of time to get it off of him already. I don't think that he's really going to hold the title for that short of amount of time. I think Priest is going to retain, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they take it off of him for some sort of storyline, whether it be Money in the Bank cash in, whether it be a turn from one of his Judgment Day teammates. So we'll have to see kind of how that turns out. I still think it's going to be a good match, and this is a good card, even though it's only 5 matches. I think we're going to see at least 1, if not 2, new Bloodline members. Maybe more, who knows. And I also think we're going to see a returning Jimmy Uso to help Cody, Kevin, and Randy, whether it be during or post-match. There's a lot of Bloodline storyline left, and a lot of people thought it was over when Reigns lost, and I'm glad that they're continuing it. I'm enjoying the long-term storytelling, and I'm ready to see what they do next. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't brought Naomi or Nia Jax, and possibly even I believe they're either sisters. They're either twins or just sisters, but there is a female relation to most of the members of the Bloodline, at least the Fatu side, that I guess has been mentioned. So it'd be kind of nice to see them expand it a little bit further, kind of dominate on all facets. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I hope this shakes out to be a longer term rather than just Solo tries to start Bloodline 2.0 and then Reigns comes back and smashes him and all is right in the world. Like, no, I want to see Reigns have to struggle to try to take down the new Bloodline. I want to see, I want to see the Bloodline 2.0 go for a while. Maybe not quite as long as the original Bloodline, but I want to see it be a well-told storyline. I don't necessarily think that they need to keep adding and adding and adding, but I think they need to establish what they have. I wouldn't be opposed to getting some titles on some of these guys. Tag titles would look nice on Tama and Tonga. Um, like I said, with some of the other guys they have supposedly debuting. A singles title on one of them, and a run at Cody for solo, I think, is kind of what we need. But we'll kind of see. And a possibility that we could see also is the Fatus kind of get in over their head, and we have the Fatu bloodline versus the Tonga bloodline, and both of them are kind of they're loosely related, but I'd like to see both sides get built up some. I like when you bring a lot of family history and stuff into the storylines, so something that draws in people to see it. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, again, I think this is going to be a good card. Two good Money in the Bank matches. With 6 people, it's not overcrowded. I would have liked to see them, maybe do 2 or 3 people from each one, or 3 or 4 from each one. Maybe even throw a couple NXT people in. And maybe even, a couple of the other mid card titles, other women's titles. There's a lot that they're not doing a lot with right now. Tag titles aren't on here. Bailey isn't defending her title. The US title, Logan Paul, he's not defending it. And, Cody is in a match, so we, can't really complain about that. But they've got to start doing something more with some of these titles, just to give it a little bit more, oomph. Otherwise, these just look like, I hate to say it, but it looks like a house show with a couple titles on the line. But yeah, hopefully it's a good pay-per-view, and yeah, hopefully I'm right. Like I said, I think Priest is going over Rollins. I think Braun's going to go over Sammy. I think Bloodline 2.0 is going to win with some interference. Chad or Drew or Jay, that's such a toss-up for me, for the men's Money in the Bank. And then Chelsea or Tiffany, I think, are the favorites, but I think Lyra is a good dark horse. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and hope it's a great pay-per-view.